Hi, welcome to Briones Pickleball. My name is Jordan Briones, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the 4 essential skill sets that you are going to need to excel to be a high-level player. So if you are a 3-5 or a 4-0 and you want to get past that threshold and get to 4-5 plus, these are essential skills that you're going to have to master. So you're not going to want to miss this. Let's jump right in. All right, so this is some footage that I shot a couple months ago, and these are my two friends, Marco and Augie. And we are going to be going through and showing you some very effective drills that you can work on, and we'll deep dive into why that is, and you'll see that as we go through the drills and break that down. Number one, that main skill set that you're going to have to learn is how to dink aggressively. So you'll notice here, we are doing our best to push the ball to our opponent's feet or close to that non-volley zone line. One thing that this does, it forces your opponent into tough decisions. Should they volley it out of the air? Should they let it bounce? Or should they take a step back? Or maybe it even forces them into a half volley, which usually is a very defensive dink. You can see here the person that is getting isolated has to hit every single ball, and this really works on dink control. You are going to be working on redirecting your dinks. You're going to be taking dinks cross court and redirecting it down the line, and vice versa, taking down the line dinks, redirecting them cross court. This is just a really good exercise so that you can practice redirection on your dinks and also dinking towards the middle. In high level play, it's really good to utilize that middle because there is a lot of space there that you can dink to and utilize. So again, you will see some of us dinking with topspin, some of us dinking with slice. The main thing is that we keep that contact low on the other side of the net, and we can force dinks that make our opponent hit up. You can see sometimes we lean in and volley dink, and sometimes we may take a step back if we need to, and that is because all the dinks that we are hitting are aggressive. They are near that non-volley zone line, near each other's feet, which forces us into quick decisions, which ultimately causes errors. One thing to note here is our ready position and paddle position. You can see here everyone's paddle position here, I would say, is around navel height, belly button height. That is what I teach with most players. Again, the main focus is that you get your paddle in a position where you can be ready to counterattack or defend. Remember, we don't know when our opponents are going to attack, so we gotta have our paddle in a good, solid, ready position so that we can be ready for every single ball. So this is just a really good drill to learn how to think more offensively on your dinks. And if you actually struggle with your dinks, go ahead and leave a comment below. We're actually going to leave a link specifically on how to dink effectively in the description, so check that out. And now let's get to skill set number 2. Hi, if you're enjoying this content, go ahead and give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you're interested in exclusive on-court training with me, go ahead and go to brionespickleball.com/coaching. Now, let's get right back to the video. All right, so now we're gonna hop into volleys. Volleys is a very, very important skill that you're going to need to get comfortable with as a high-level pickleball player, and you're going to have to master. You can see here that the person that is isolated on one side is going to work on redirection volleys, right? They're taking volleys down the line and pulling it cross court, and they're taking cross court volleys and pushing it down the line. This is very, very good for control. One positioning thing that I do want to mention is if you are the person that is cross court from the isolated player, like in this example here, you will notice the cross court player is closer to that center line. And this usually happens in high level play when there's a firefight or when there's action happening. That cross court player is going to squeeze middle so that they can cover that, because the person down the line from the ball is going to have to more cover their sideline. So you'll see this in high level play a lot. This is a good way to practice your positioning on the court, making sure that you do not open that middle up and that you can cover it well. All right, so now we're gonna hop into a really fun drill, and this is the counter attack and reset drill. You'll notice that the isolated player here is counter attacking straight down the line from them and then resetting cross court after they get that counter attack back. So the two people on the far side as a team will always be attacking, whether they're attacking off the bounce or they are attacking out of the air, and the isolated person is going to be switching off from counter-attacking down the line and then resetting cross court. So this is just a really, really tough and challenging drill. It's definitely made for higher level players, but if you can control your volleys well and reset well, you can get in a good rhythm. And for the players that are cross court from that isolated player, you're getting a lot of resets in the non-volley zone, so it actually works on your attacks off the bounce. So like a little flick, little top spin, roll off the bounce. So it's really, really good. And then the person that is down the line from the isolated player is working on their counter attacks. So it's just a really good drill all around. Notice everyone's paddle position and their ready position after every single ball. And just notice everyone's short, compact stroke because the ball is coming really, really fast. Remember, as soon as you counter, or actually especially when you counter attack, you gotta be going to a quick and efficient ready position. All right, so now let's hop into skill set number 3, and that is being comfortable or getting comfortable in that transition. So we have the isolated player in transition, and we have the two players on the far side trying to put the ball away and hit it at the isolated player's feet. This is just a really good drill to hone in that reset shot. If you struggle with your reset shots currently, go ahead and leave a comment below and tell us what makes it hard. We'll actually also link another video on resets so that you can work on that. It will be in the description. But here we can see having a wide and stable base is very, very important when you're hitting reset shots, getting low, and keeping your paddle low. Remember, good higher level players are going to be hitting your shoelaces, hitting your feet. That is exactly where they should be aiming. You will see the players at the non-volley zone forcing that ball at the shoelaces. So of course, if you can make your opponent stretch or reach, that's the number one option. But even if you just hit it right at the feet, because the ball that you're hitting has some pace on it, if you can force them into a quick decision when to volley, when to kind of take it off the bounce, it is a very hard thing to deal with when you are placing it right at their feet. So again, for the person in isolation, make sure that you are in a good ready position on every single ball. You have your paddle low and you are trying your best to, again, just stay alive, stay in the point, and hit soft balls into that non-volley zone. Remember, the whole focus of this drill for the isolated player is to keep and force low contact points. You are going to be in this position often as a higher level player. Obviously, it's getting harder and harder as players are using more topspin and rolling balls at your feet. So this is something that I practice all the time, and this is something that you are going to have to get comfortable with. One last thing that I do want to mention is the two players at the net. Of course, we are trying to put as much pressure as possible. If the ball lands in that non-volley zone, one thing that I like to do is take a step back off the line to give myself a little bit more time and space so that I can create some space between me and the ball so that I can actually have a better shot at rolling it at their feet. This is something that I call a step back, and you'll see higher level players do this all the time. Obviously, if I could take the ball and lean in out of the air as a swinging volley, that's my first choice. But if the person is hitting good reset shots in that non-volley zone, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little step back off the line, create some space so that I can hit like a modified or short ground stroke right at their shoelaces. All right, so now let's hop into skill set number 4, and that is mastering the transition. In this specific 3-person drill, what we are doing is we are going to feed a very weak ball, and this happens a lot. Sometimes there's short returns in games, and what we're gonna do as the isolated player is they are gonna actually drive the ball and look to drive another ball if it goes high, but you will see that if a good solid volley is hit, they will be electing to drop it. So for those bangers out there and those players who love to drive the ball and everything, that's definitely not the way to go in higher level play. When you're playing high level players, they will have a solid volley. So if that ball is low and below your knees, make sure that you get in the habit of dropping that 5th ball. So this is a really good drill, again, to train that offensive mindset, right? When you get balls that you can drive, when you get balls that you can attack, you want to be able to do that. After that, if it's a low reply or low ball, you just drop it in, hit that 5th shot drop, try to keep it unattackable and finish your transition. This is a really good exercise, especially when you're drilling with 2 other people. And once you get to the kitchen line, it's a free-for-all. You can dink, you can attack, and do whatever you want. As for the drive, one thing that I do is drive the ball, or try to drive the ball low, right down the middle. There's some space there, and of course there is some miscommunication that can happen when you're driving the ball down the middle, and also the net is lower. So for margin purposes, that is usually where I drive the ball. If I see an opening or a spot down the line or cross court, I may go for that at times, but the most effective and efficient drive is going to be down the middle. Of course, you don't have to do that all the time, but that is just a suggestion that I have, and you will see that happen a lot in higher level play. One thing to notice about a good transition too is the split step on the way in as you are hitting your 5th, 7th, 9th ball, however many balls it takes. After you hit your first one, you are going to want to gain some ground if the ball is low and you get a low contact ball. But if not, obviously you're going to have to hang back and wait until you get a lower contact ball so that you can come in. In this drill, we are working on our 3rd shot drive, but again, you are going to be patient in your transition. After the drive, you can see us, we are not running in like a headless chicken. We are assessing the ball after our drive and then coming to some sort of a split step so that we can, be ready to move forward or backward if we need to. And then we are going to proceed from there. Thanks so much for watching this video. I know this was a little bit different format. If you have 2 other players or friends that you can drill with, these are definitely some high-level drills that I would suggest that you go out there and try. Remember, these are 4 essential skill sets that you are going to have to master to get to that 4.0 and above level. You're going to have to learn how to dink offensively and aggressively. You are going to have to be able to hit solid and effective volleys, and that includes learning when to reset it and learning when to counterattack. You also are going to have to get comfortable in that transition zone and master that reset shot, get very comfortable in there. And lastly, again, like we just saw, you're going to have to master the transition. Know when to come up, when to stay back. Remember, we are trying to force low contact points. If we can get the opponents at the net to hit up on the ball, to contact the ball below the net, that is when we are going to be making our move up. And make sure that you are practicing being balanced and stable as you are doing that, working on your split step. If this video was helpful in any way, we would really appreciate it if you give it a like. Comment below if you have any questions. And also, if you would like a full drill workout routine that you can do with a partner, go ahead and click the link in the description below. We will send you a PDF on exactly the drills that I do to keep up my game at a high level. Go ahead and check the link in the description below. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next video.
Oh yeah, baby, come on. Let's go, cover me, cover me.
For exclusive pickleball content from me, check out brioneспickleball.com. For awesome pickleball paddles like this one, make sure to check the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.